Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Out here in the garage today doing some boat work and figured we had to take an intermission here to make a video about all the crazy stuff going on right now in the bass fishing world. Got to keep things even because I've made the videos about all the MLF stuff going on, all the NPFL stuff that has gone on, which definitely heavier on the MLF problems, but it's the Elite Series this time that has got a cheater, and I think it was already suspected quite a bit that this guy was doing some not so truthful things. So, not surprising, I guess. More glad they cleared it up here. That it seems like he was definitely doing a little bit of cheating. Failed a lie detector test in the last event of the season. He's already put out a video saying that he doesn't know exactly what caused him to fail it. Of course, the two takes that you can go with if you get caught with something like this, which technically has not got caught yet because a lie detector test, as he repeatedly stated, is not admissible in court and doesn't mean anything and this and that. And it's like, yeah, you can beat a lie detector test, you can have false positives on a lie detector test, but I'll tell you what's really odd about this one is that there's been plenty of rumblings about this guy getting information for a while now, and he just happens to fail that question on the lie detector test. Crazy. Why would it be that you failed that question? Well, I'm going to take a wild guess that you were cheating and you got caught now. But again, he got disqualified. There's a lot to dig into with this disqualification. Actually, we're going to dig into some other things in that tournament period because just crazy stuff went on, I guess, here. So what is interesting about that disqualification is, one, you have the guy that is in contention, like contention as in it's going to be pretty much one or two people in this last tournament for Rookie of the Year. They stay they travel together and are staying in the same house, and he gets DQ'd. So now it's our other guy. So we're talking about JT Tompkins and Trey McKinney. JT gets DQ'd in this last event of the season. They're fishing like the same spot on in this tournament, and JT gets DQ'd on Friday or whatever. I think it was Friday that he's DQ'd now. And do you see the connection here? I mean, it's gotta suck for the other guys, because I can tell you, if I'm competing against some people for that kind of money, and after the entire year's gone on, we're that many tournaments in, he gets a lie detector test, and the two guys that are just walking through everybody, all the rookies, now one of them has failed a lie detector test about getting information about this tournament. Now Trey has also gotten a lie detector test. He passed. Good. I mean, we're not like rooting for people to be cheating on the Elite Series, but it's still just very suspicious and makes people question the legitimacy of a lot of these things when you have guys like that. I mean, you catch one cheating and they're obviously sharing information. You don't just happen to be okay with each other fishing the same spot during an Elite Series tournament when you're staying. I hope you guys can still see here. All right. When you're staying in the same house with somebody and then that person gets caught for an information rule. Now, I'll tell you how. I don't know what questions were asked, but I'm going to go hypothetical here. Bear with me for a second. So say Trey gets asked the same questions. Did you seek out information that you were not allowed to have? Trey says no. Well, you could easily pass a lie detector test doing that, because if JT shared that information with him that he got illegally, Trey's in the clear because he got it from JT. So that's where it gets super, super just fishy for me, because there's plenty of ways to get around these rules. I'll give you another hypothetical scenario that probably is used by these guys because they use everything they can to break the information rule. As far as finding out which tournaments are going to be on the schedule next year before they come out, because they pull permits for these tournaments. So these guys can go by waypoints before the schedule comes out, because if they see a permit gets pulled for a major Elite Series tournament and, you know, Orange or whatever, I was going to name a city, but wherever in the country, if they see a permit get pulled, they can pretty well figure out the Elite Series schedule before it comes out by waypoints. Then the schedule comes out, and now you have waypoints, and technically you didn't break the information rule. But here's another way that it can be broken after the fact, would be where you can share information. So say there's a person that I want information from that fishes this lake all the time. Well, the only information you can technically get is from publicly available sources. So if I want to give JT some waypoints or some real good information on a lake, I just have to post it on a public platform. And as long as it doesn't, I don't have to tell everybody where it's at. I just JT just happens to know that I have a YouTube channel named Hayden's Fine Wine, or Hayden's Cooking Channel. And then I post some real good information on there. It's publicly available. Anybody else can access it, but only JT would know where to look for it. And that's publicly available. You could pass a lie detector test because you ain't lying. That information is out there for everybody. So that's what I mean. The lie detector test, when you're trying to catch everybody, it's kind of shaky, because I can be very truthful and still be, breaking the rules / not breaking the rules. It's the crazy gray area that's really just manipulated with all these people, and just makes people, kind of question all the legitimacy of these tournaments when you got guys at the highest level. And JT got DQ'd from the last tournament, and if I'm correct on this, I'd have to go back and look, but I'm almost positive that he ended up 15th in AOY out of the entire field, with getting a 0 in the last tournament. Still got 15th. So, didn't have a bad season, but he just happened to get caught cheating in the last tournament. So, you got that. But we got more than just that going on. I'm done talking about that portion of it. It is what it is. We got a guy that got caught cheating. He's probably going to get a DQ and fish again next year. He doesn't care. Got all the money in the world, from what I understand, that he can blow on this stuff. So to the next thing that we have on the list here is this pretty much people come in on other people on the spots that they have. Almost got a wasp on me there, but specifically the leader. So Robert G leading the tournament. We have the Johnston brothers kind of waging war against him. I guess he said some things on live because Chris had pulled in on a spot that apparently it's well known. I've never fished against them on that body of water or anything, but it was pretty well known that was kind of an area that they had won off a few times. Either way, Robert G's on it. He's winning the tournament. Chris pulls up, apparently too close, which it looked like on live. They were pretty close to one another. But you have also that he let Trey McKinney fish really close to him. So here's my take on the whole situation. Fish some really, really crowded opens and things that people get close. And I agree with portions of that you should not pull in on the leader unwanted that close. If somebody's leading a tournament like that, which could be a life-changing tournament for them, you shouldn't go in there and screw with their fish. It's the St. Lawrence River. There's plenty of places to go, but here's the weird part for me. If you're okay with somebody else doing it, that's where I get kind of weird on you picking and choosing, because we get all these teams that that people acting as teams or legitimate teams that we get on the Elite Series. I wish that it was more individual, because you get you get 5 people out there fishing together, then well, he can fish close to him, he can't fish close to him. I'm not okay with him pulling in on me, but this guy can pull in on me and fish right here. And I mean, it's obvious that the Johnson brothers knew about that spot already, so I kind of side with both, because if I know of a spot and I'm fishing a tournament, I'm running my areas, and even if I haven't been on to this place yet, everybody knows that I knew about that place, and I'm saving it. So like, if you're as good on the St. Lawrence as the Johnson brothers, they probably have plenty of spots that they don't necessarily visit because they want to save them. I've had plenty of tournaments where I had a spot that I didn't go to on day 1 that I knew I was going to for sure on day 2, but I didn't want to go burn it up. And because everybody fishes spots differently, I don't have a problem with knowing a spot is being hammered one day, but knowing that I know kind of a secret way to hit that spot that I can get some bites that I know nobody else is going to get. So I don't know. I'm always conflicted on this rule, because I'm one that I do not like fishing close, but I know how these tournaments go. And when you're that good, when you have that knowledge of a place, guys end up on top of each other all the time. You've seen it in the famous Kentucky Lake video where they're like, "Oh, the lake's 100 miles long. How'd these guys end up on the one spot right next to each other?" Well, it's a community hole. Everybody knows about that spot. I get weird on that one, because I can side with both of them. I don't like when people pull in, but I also get it that maybe you didn't fish this spot, or maybe I haven't seen you on it. But if you found it in practice, I don't know that you didn't save this spot for today. And I mean, there's a rule for a reason on how far you can fish from somebody. That, if you have a specific spot right here that you're fishing, and I have a specific spot right there, it's just like if somebody's going down a bank that's I like to use this reference quite a bit, actually. If somebody's going down a 100-yard long bank, they start at the point and they're just slowly flipping everything down. Well, you pre-fished, and you know that there's a fish on that laydown that's still 500 yards long in front of them. Does that mean that you can't fish any of the laydowns? When you're only fishing laydowns, you don't need to go down the whole bank. You already know exactly where the fish are. Does that mean that you can't go fish that laydown because now they own that spot? Or, because in a lot of these tournaments it is okay. Like if I say, "Hey, I'm fishing these laydowns," I get that you obviously don't know that is like specifically where these fish are on this bank, but I'm going to pull in and I'm going to fish that laydown. I'm going to make 2 casts, and then I'm out. And it's your fault for not having that specific knowledge, and I'm just, better at breaking down the area than you. And people will get butthurt about that, but I mean, it's kind of the way it is. It's like I can't give the entire lake to everybody. But that's just how these crowded tournaments go, and the water gets a lot smaller the more knowledge that the field has, and the Elite Series has more knowledge than a lot of people like to give them credit for. But anyway, that's my kind of a take on that. I feel like I sided with both of them completely, but yeah, and I think that's kind of the way it is. Do I agree? Also, I don't agree with the Johnston brothers getting all threatening and everything with it. It's like, come on, it's a bass tournament. If somebody's talking a bunch of crap on live or whatever, sure, but I mean, does it make it more interesting for people? Sure. Does it really have a place with catching a bass? No. But I thought it was kind of odd that Mercer would post that of all people, given that he's works for bass. Kind of a bad look. But anyway, stay tuned for more videos. Probably when I get back out on the water, I might do another live scope footage video. I'm kind of interested. That last one I did turned out pretty well, so might end up getting back out there, do some more of that. And then fall's coming, so we're going to be flipping some grass, throwing spinner bait, throwing some top water. Got a couple more tournaments coming up. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.